everyone, I'm Dan Philgreen, and this is Shell Point Today for Wednesday, June 25th. On today's show, Norton McKnight tells us the real truth behind our Declaration of Independence and Constitution. Rita Southern introduces a new day respite program offered at the Arbor starting July 1st. We'll also hear from Jazz and Stuff, who give us the good old-fashioned St. Louis blues. But first, here with Wednesday's headlines is Rochelle Chernowski at the news desk. Rochelle.
Thank you very much, Dan. Today, Tim Stevenson is hosting a legacy seminar entitled Be Anxious for Nothing. It's a discussion of how utilizing home care, assisted living, or skilled nursing may impact your finances. Special guests include Rita Southern, Sherry Brown, and Steve Menier. And this seminar is so big, they've actually added a second seminar to accommodate the extra crowds. Sign up for one of two sessions at 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. in the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands. Also today, the scrapbooking group meets in the Tarpon Room in the Island Tunnel. Now, this is less an organized group and more an open opportunity for crafters of all kinds to learn from each other and try different techniques with different artwork. But little subgroups do pop up devoted to specific crafts and disciplines. For example, today a group is learning how to make custom-designed pop-up cards. If you are interested, come to the Tarpon Room in the tunnel at 9:30 this morning or contact Debbie Malkai of Periwinkle to learn more about it. Also today, those of you with iPads have one last chance this month to get those nagging questions answered about how to get the most out of this tablet computer. Penny Modrich and her volunteers are offering a walk-in iPad clinic, kind of like a hospital for iPads. Bring your questions and your iPads to the Computer Teaching Center in the Island Tunnel between 10:15 and 11:45 a.m. And then tomorrow, we want to make sure you know about an Academy class about what we learned wrong in Civics class. Norton McKnight of Lucina loves constitutional law and is sharing insights on how our founding documents really came to be. His two-part class begins tomorrow at 2 p.m. in the Grand Cypress Room. Terry Kolath has this preview.
Hello everybody, I'm here today with Norton McKnight of Lucina, and we're here to talk about an upcoming program in the Academy of Lifelong Learning, 2 sessions. Thank you for joining me, Mr. McKnight.
Hi, Terry. One of the first things you've got to talk about, if you're talking about the Declaration of Independence, is, of course, one of the most widely quoted phrases in the English language, that all men are created equal and are endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights, including life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And if you think that this was written by Thomas Jefferson, you ought to attend the first session because you'll get some surprises.
I think the thing about your programs, Mr. McKnight, is there are so many surprises. We just have learned things because they sounded good at the moment or they fit someone's perspective of what we should know, right?
Right. You started out with the Declaration of Independence, and it was touted as the great inspiration of one man. We didn't found our country with the greatest of one man. It was our founding fathers. And you got to realize they started out with a blank piece of paper and said they were going to write a constitution to run a country that they didn't even envision. Their view of the United States of America was Maine to Georgia, not Florida where we sit. That was owned by Spain. But Maine to Georgia, from the East Coast, Wash on Atlantic, to the mountain peaks, not the mountain peaks of the Rockies, the mountain peaks of the Appalachians. And then they sat down and wrote the Constitution. Now, the Constitution, that part of it, will be covered in the first session. The second session will concentrate on the Bill of Rights. These are spelled out our rights as a people. We have these rights, and it's a problem that we are being taken away from them, and we're going to concentrate on some of the solutions that we can consider to get back these rights that we have.
So we're not going to tell anybody else any more about it. They're going to have to show up the next 2 Thursdays. I invite you to come and join Norton McKnight 2 to 3:30 in the Grand Cypress Room. You can sign up right at the door, and we are sure to appreciate our country a little more after this time with Mr. McKnight.
And now Dan has the details about an exciting new respite program. Dan?
Yes, Rochelle. It's been long requested, and now we have a day respite program starting up July 1st. If you care for a loved one and need just a few hours off to go shopping or to meet up with friends or family, then let our new day respite services help you. The new day respite program begins next week on the 3rd floor of the Arbor. Here with a preview is Rita Southern.
We're here today to talk about a new service that we're offering to Shell Point residents, day respite at the Arbor. This is an opportunity for Shell Point caregivers to have support for the caregiving needs for their loved one. We are offering day stays at the respite program that provide supervised care, planned activities, and companionship for those that may need that level of supervision. Shell Point residents probably recall that in the past we've offered an adult daycare program. This is similar to that level of service. We've continued to have a number of Shell Point residents requesting this type of a service provided by our Shell Point staff. So we've looked at our resources and we've determined that the Arbor is the best place for us to provide this level of service. Day respite can be accessed by caregivers that live here at Shell Point, and that's kind of an important distinction. It's a service that's available only to our Shell Point residents, not to those folks that live outside of the community. But our caregivers can access the respite care for half-day stays or for a whole day stay. They can do it in the morning half day with a meal. They can access an afternoon with a meal, or they can forego the meal altogether. Shell Point residents can access the day respite stay for half a day and pay $27.50 if they want to forego a meal. If they would like to enjoy the meal as a part of their half-day stay, that takes the fee up to $37.50. And for a whole day stay would be an 8-hour stay, and that would be $60. It's a very affordable option for our caregivers that live at Shell Point. This really does allow the caregiver the opportunity, if they have medical appointments, if they have the desire to just go out for a day with friends, whatever the reason that the caregiver needs the respite, this service will provide that ongoing supervision and monitoring of their loved one. It means that our Arbor staff are responsible for making sure that the well-being of that individual is guarded during the day, and that there's a level of participation. Our day program participants will enjoy being a part of our Arbor activities. There'll also be individual programming. So if the day stay group wants to have a Wii bowling tournament, then they'll be able to enjoy Wii. So we really feel like the Day Stay Respite program is going to provide that added layer of support to our caregivers here at Shell Point. For residents that are interested in getting more information about the Respite Day program at the Arbor, we would ask that you call our Arbor front desk, and that number is 454-2292. Pat Turner is our resident relations rep at the Arbor, and she'll be assisting caregivers as they seek more information and managing the admission process for our day respite program at the Arbor. We're very excited and enthusiastic about our first day, which is July 1st. We've already had a number of Shell Point residents that have called us and inquired as to when they could make the reservation and how much in advance they need to call. We do ask that residents, once you are registered for the program, that you look to make your reservations at least the week in advance. This will allow us the proper time to plan and program for the participants in the program. But it is a wonderful added layer of service that we think our caregivers in the ShellPoint community will really appreciate and make full use of. So exciting day coming for the Day Respite program at the Arbor as we begin our service.
All this week, we are replaying segments from the Route 66 Variety Show, which, as you can see from page 28 of the ShellPoint Live magazine, portrayed a fun-filled and sometimes harrowing trip across the country, from Chicago to Los Angeles. One stop of the fictional car was in St. Louis, where they encountered the Jazz and Stuff Sextet, with Yvonne Schneff singing the St. Louis Blues.
Whoa, I must have really needed to catch up on my beauty rest. Are we still in Chicago?
Oh, no. We're way past Chicago, honey. We're making great time. In fact, I think we're coming up on St. Louis. Look, there's an arch out there in the distance.
St. Louis? Hey, maybe we can go dancing on the Admiral.
I don't think the Admiral would like that very much.
No, honey. The Admiral's a steamboat on the Mississippi River. Don't you know anything about St. Louis?
Well, there's the arch.
Well, to really learn about St. Louis, you have to know the blues. Let's hear from Yvonne Schneff about the St. Louis Blues.
1, 2, 3, 4.
down. Hate to see that evening sun go down, 'cause my baby, he done and left this town. Feeling tomorrow just like I feel today. tomorrow, just like I feel today. I'll pack my trunk and make my getaway. St. Louis woman with all her diamond rings, she pulled that man around by her apron strings. 'Tweren't for her powder and for her store-bought hair, that man of mine, he wouldn't go nowhere, nowhere. I got the St. Louis blues, just as blue as I can be. That man got a heart like a rock cast in the sea, or else he wouldn't have gone so far from me. Got the St. Louis blues, just as blue as I can be. That man got a heart like a rock cast in the sea, or else he wouldn't have gone so far from me.
By the way, our Jazz and Stuff band is on hiatus for the summer, but you can hear this and lots of other fun performances on the Route 66 Variety Show DVD, which you can order for just $10. Contact SBTV at 489-8431 to get your own copy today. Now, let's turn our attention to Wednesday's happenings, followed by your Academy News, menus, and Village Church Connections.
Hello everyone, I'm here with Bev Chanley and my name is Leslie Brand, and we have a lot going on this Wednesday, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start at 7:45 at Men's Bible Study in the Osprey Room. 9 o'clock is Jurassic Travel. We'll meet in the Egret Room on the island. Also at 9 o'clock is Round Robin Doubles Tennis at the tennis courts. 9 o'clock Watercolor Group with Phil Hilton and the Art Studio on the island. 9:15 Card Making and Scrapbooking Group will be in the Tarpon Room on the island. 10 o'clock Ladies Bible Study will be in the Osprey Room. 10:15 iPad is free walk-in clinic and the Computer Teaching Center on the island. It goes until 11:45. 10:15 Model Yacht Sailing Club will be at the Commons Lake at the Woodlands. 11:30 Health Connections, Specifics in Cardio Conditioning will be at the Health Club on the island, and that class is currently full. Now here's Bev for the afternoon activities.
Thanks, Leslie. At 1 o'clock we have chess. That's played in the Library Lounge on the island. 1:45 is the Health Connections class, Balance and Mobility Training Level 1. That's in the Health Club. Currently that one's full. At 3 o'clock, the Bible study meets in the King's Crown Community Room. At 3 o'clock, we also have a Health Connections class, Pilates stretch in the Health Club. Another Health Connections class is at 3:30, Aqua Agility and Conditioning. That's in the LifeQuest Aquatic Center. We're going to jump to 4:30 for indoor bocce. That's set up down in the Health Club. And 7:15 is our last activity, which is Prayer and Praise. That'll be at the Social Center on the island. That concludes our activities for today, and we hope you enjoy your day, and we see you back here tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Terry Koleth with your Academy information for Wednesday. At 10 o'clock, we have a legacy seminar, Be Anxious for Nothing, in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands, and sign up is required. At 1 o'clock, touch screen training for tablets and laptops will continue in the Computer Center at the Woodlands. And at 1 o'clock, our intermediate bridge class continues in the game room of the Woodlands. At 1:45, Internet Prep School continues in the Computer Teaching Center on the island. At 2 o'clock, we have another go-through of the Legacy Seminar, Be Anxious for Nothing. Because so many people had signed up, this is another opportunity to attend. At 3:45, Core Pickup begins on the island for our Academy on the Go educational field trip, Art After Hours, at the Baker Museum. Tomorrow, we have What We Learned Wrong in Civics, Part 1 of a 2-part presentation by Norton McKnight of Lucina.
Menus for Wednesday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is beef stroganoff with noodles and roasted beets. The dinner special is the pasta buffet for $12.95, and the soup of the day is chicken Florentine. In the Island Cafe for lunch, the special is a chicken tender wrap with onion rings for $7.25. The dinner special is grilled shrimp for $8.25. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill are braised lamb shanks for $16.95 or T-bone steak for $19.95. Menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Let me welcome you today to Village Church Connections. Thank you for joining us. I'm here with Janet Howard, who's a resident here at Shell Point. Janet, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you. It's a delight to be here.
Janet, we are here to talk about something special. And you are here because of some of your background in Indonesia. Tell us about the years you spent there real quickly.
Well, I was 40 years in Indonesia. It's still very much home to me. I love the country. It's the largest Muslim country in the world.
So you know a lot about Ramadan, and that's part of what we're here to talk about.
Good, yes. My daughter lives there now, and my grandson, and I think of them soon coming up to fast month and what it's going to mean, which we know is Ramadan, the fast month, for Muslims all around the world.
And what do Muslims do during the month of Ramadan? What are the important things to them during this month?
I think it's the time that they really center in on their devotion to God. That's really what it's about. Islam means being submitted to God. And when they give up things throughout the day, and actually giving up is a lot, I don't think I could ever do it. Not to eat or even swallow your saliva from sunup till sunset, and just spend that whole time in submission to God, letting Him control your appetites, is a sign of your devotion to God. So Muslims do that, not 100% of all Muslims, but ones who really want to honor God and follow the rules of the religion, fast for that month.
They do fast, and I can only assume that the years that you spent in Indonesia, you observed this up close and personal year after year.
I did, but I hate to admit I never actually went along with the fast. Although my daughter and son-in-law, who have been working with Muslims in the same country, actually chose to fast with their neighbors, and they found it very difficult.
It would be. It would be. I can only imagine. During the time that the Muslims are participating in Ramadan, we participate in a prayer focus for Muslims during that month. We have a little booklet that we have available at the church lobby, or they can pick it up at service times, that's called 30 Days of Prayer. Tell us a little bit why this is so important.
Knowing that Muslims are really more concerned in this one month about their relationship to God It just, many times their hearts are more open, they have more spiritual sensitivity, and it's the time, because of that, that they're more focused on things that really matter. So to know that there are people around the world, Christians, who are concerned enough to be sharing their burden and praying for them, I think it's wonderful. I think sometimes, I would say Americans now, because we're Americans, all right? Americans tend to think that, oh, Muslims, especially what we've been hearing in the news lately, the radical Muslims, I don't like them, I don't trust them, but they are ones that people God has created and He loves, and He longs for them to know Him in the way we do. Because they can't know God without knowing God's Son. But one thing I like about this book, it's so informative.
It is. It's put together by day, and there's 30 separate days of information. It gives you information about various countries and what's going on there and the Muslim population there. And then it gives you some very specific things to pray for.
I really like it because, we can just say, oh, God, help the Muslims during fast month. But this gives us something focused to pray for. And I really like this book. I've been working through this book for years now. And every time it comes toward Ramadan, I'm thinking, oh, pretty soon the church will have this out for us.
Well, and it helps me. I know you've lived with Muslims for a lot of your life, but it helps me understand them, understand some of their culture, understand some of their beliefs. And I think you hit on something that's really critical. It's during this month that their hearts are more sensitive. And many Muslim people are very sincere in their pursuit of God.
They truly are. And the thing that I see reaching Muslims in different countries around the world is through dreams and visions. So many people Muslims have found truth through the dreams that they had, the vision that they've had, and then God directs them to someone who can say, these are what these dreams mean. And then they find real life that frees them, not their religiosity that kind of keeps them bound.
I've heard some of the stories that you're referring to, and they're amazing stories.
They are.
And it inspires me to pray.
Yeah.
And we certainly invite all of you to join us in the prayer efforts during the month of Ramadan, beginning June 28th through July 27th. And these booklets can be picked up at the church lobby anytime, or we'll have them available Sundays at service times as well to pick up and take home and make it part of your prayer focus for this month. Thank you so much, and thank you for joining us today for Village Church Connections. Have a wonderful day.
We're glad you joined us for today's show. Tune in tomorrow as we learn the Spanish language in a new way by exercising.
We'll also find out what happened when Paul Peterson broke his arm and went looking for medical help from Rose Donnelly. It was quite the scene.
I bet it was. Until then, this is Shell Point Today for Wednesday, June 25th. I'm Rochelle Chernowski.
And I'm Dan Philgreen. From all of us here at Shell Point TV, we hope you have a great day, and we'll see you again tomorrow.